Kurt Pierce and that magical Lockheed Martin F-35A. This thing at its maximum takeoff weight is 30 tons. It's a gigantic and ultra-fast weapon. 40,000 pounds max thrust and able to get to flight level 50, 50,000 feet above us. And that pass that you saw over the top of the mountain, you're doing 350, 100 knots, near enough double it for kilometres per hour. And this thing is capable of achieving 1,960 kilometres an hour. Maximum load of 9 Gs. What an extraordinary device. He's inverted at 400 knots over the top of Pitt Strait. That is quite extraordinary. And when he completes the pass, he will go to flight level 180, 18,000 feet. What a show.
Here with James Warburton, the Chief Executive Officer of Supercars. And James, you've got to be so proud of this event. When you look at this crowd, when you look at this whole event, what a spectacle it's become, it is enormous.
Oh, look, it's extraordinary. It just gets bigger and bigger every year. And, the action we've seen over the last few days and, the stage is set for a pretty epic race. But, we don't do this without wonderful partners, Bathurst Regional Council and, the way in which they present the circuit, the campers, the track to town, of course, Destination New South Wales, who support all of our events in New South Wales. Wonderful teams and drivers, the superstars that make it happen. And then our great partners at Repco, who really do bring the Bathurst. Couldn't have been, I can't be a prouder moment for a CEO of a sporting organisation.
Wayne Bryant from Repco. Wayne, it is remarkable, and you guys have just stepped it up again this year.
Look, we love it, Mark. It's our 5th year this year. The team keep raising the bar. The work they do with Supercars and the council's outstanding. And then this year we've had the ad campaign, which has just knocked it out the park. Having Murph and Marcus and then Jim at the end. The fans have loved it, and we've really taken another level. I'm excited for our team. They do an amazing job, and great work to James and all of his crew as well. So,
congratulations, Wayne. It's fantastic. James, you look at this event and the crowd this year, and it just seems to get bigger and better every year. It is a phenomenon, this event.
Extraordinary, and puts $55 million of economic stimulus into the economy as well. So, everything's packed out: restaurants, houses, hotels. There's not a room here. We'd like more rooms and more campsites, of course. But just bigger and better. And from here, it's some exciting times. It locks in the finals. So for the first time, like a footy code, we have an elimination final, a semi-final, and a grand final, taking the championship right down to the wire. Then, of course, the fans have loved seeing the Toyota Supra for the first time. It's going to be absolutely extraordinary.
Mate, everyone's talking about the Repco TV ad. That was phenomenal. I don't know how you brought together Jim Richards, Marcus Ambrose, Greg Murphy. That's exceptional.
I think we might have got him to speak for the first time in about 20 years. So Murph and Marcus have had a great time. They've really worked well with us. And then to get Jim to come up here was just phenomenal. It was a masterstroke. So delighted with the teamwork there to bring that all together.
Jim is the ultimate finish to that ad. Well done, mate. It's just great. We love it. Guys, have a great day today, James. I know you'll be very, very proud. This is the exceptional event, and it just gets bigger and better every year. We love it.
Thanks, mate. Yeah, appreciate it. Thank you, everyone. Enjoy the show.
All right, here we go, guys. Let's go to Rihanna.
Cam Waters starting the front row of the grid with Mark Winterbottom for this race. Our biggest day of the year. You're perched up here on the wall, just taking it all in. How different is your preparation for this race to any other race, or is it?
I guess it just starts a lot earlier than any other race for the team and myself. But yeah, I'm just sitting up here taking it all in. It's pretty cool. On this grid, there's so many people here, and hopefully it's a great day for us.
You've been on the podium multiple times here at the Bathurst 1000. You're on the front row of the grid. You've put yourselves in a position where you can really be part of this race towards the end? I mean, how do you capitalise on this perfect spot?
Yeah, we had a pretty good car in the shootout and did a clean lap, and obviously great to start on the front row, and hopefully we get some clean air. So yeah, all going good.
And let's not get taken out by the umbrella by the crowd here on the grid. I mean, it's pretty exceptional how many people get access to you in the car.
Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it? There's so many people here on the grid. It's hard to walk around. So yeah, it's amazing, all the fans and supporters here this weekend.
Rossi's obviously starting.
Yeah, unless I change my mind, but I think we'll let the old fella get in there and do his thing.
Keep us on our toes, Cam. All the best. Good luck.
Thank you.
Champion trainer Chris Waller joins me on the grid. Congratulations for yesterday at Caulfield Guineas with the Water Boy. Let's just touch on this incredible event. Have you been to anything like it in your life?
Yeah, it's always amazing.
What can you say as they go completely overhead?
One thing after another. Yeah, the vibes here is an amazing event. It's part of Australia's sport, and it's a privilege to be here on pit lane. Mark Petchick, an owner of ours, is fully involved. Yeah, Barclay Nettlefold is the chairman, and it's good to meet some of the drivers, and yeah, what an amazing event.
Can you believe the access granted to people to come out? I mean, we're only moments away from race start time, and people are literally doing a grid walk, getting up close and personal with driver and vehicle.
I think it's amazing. It's what participants want. They want to get involved in the sport, see what's behind the scenes, see what a guy's like, and yeah, we can learn from them. And yeah, it's about bringing the people closer.
Soak it all up.
Yeah, it's amazing. Can't wait.
Drivers just gathering for the anthem. Nick Percat, are there more emotions attached to this race for you? You've announced recently that you'll be retiring full time. Is it different for you?
Not yet. Probably when I get out of the car and have many hours time apart from mate, hopefully on the podium. But yeah, it's different. But I'm doing it with a really good mate, so it's been an amazing week. So yeah, obviously it's not my last Bathurst. So probably next year I'll be starting the thing, so I'll get some tips on how he starts at this.
You guys have positioned yourself into the top 10 with being part of that Bruce Mobile top 10 shootout. Is a podium a potential for you today?
Yeah, I think our race pace is better than our quali speed, same as Talent. So I thought if I nailed my lap in quali, it was probably 8th. I didn't have anything for what the front 3, 4 did. So yeah, I think we're a good start the race. Lady's been really good in race trim. There's weather coming, so it's probably, to be honest, anybody's race.
Best of luck.
Cool, thank you.
The people you find on the Bathurst grid, Adam Kingsley, GWS coach, having a look at your very first Bathurst 1000. What's your first impressions, Adam?
Oh, I just can't believe the size of it. And I can't believe the crowd on the grid before the drivers are out there to do their jobs. It's absolutely incredible.
This access is wild, isn't it? You don't see this in a lot of sports.
No, certainly I couldn't imagine this in our game. You know, however long before the start of the game, it's incredible the amount of access, and the drivers are there taking photos and doing interviews. It's pretty special.
They're going to give you a chance to go up the top of the mountain and meet the true Hardy fans in the campsites.
Yeah, I haven't planned that, but yeah, I wouldn't mind jumping in one and doing a bit of a hot lap up there. It'd be good fun, but I don't expect to do that.
Mate, enjoy the great race. We hope you find a good spot for it.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Well, now it's almost time for the final stage of the journey for the Peter Brock Trophy as it heads to the grid for this year's great race. The campgrounds are full, a crowd of almost 200,000 expected across the weekend. The Royal Australian Air Force still putting on a show, 7,000 campgrounds. And if we add more, they will fill up too. Blue skies at the moment. The radar suggests the weather is on its way. We know the numbers well. 6.2 kilometres, 161 laps, 1,000 kilometres until we decide who will be the victors in the 2025 Repco Bathurst 1000. What a vibe and what a car! This is the 1965 race-winning Cortina, driven to victory 60 years ago by Barry Bo Seaton. On board there today and escorting the trophy is Bo's son and two-time series champion Glenn Seaton. His Ford Cortina Mark I GT500 was entered by Fairfield Motors and driven in 65 by Bo and his co-driver Mitch Bosworth. But the Seaton family, they know both sides of being part of Bathurst history. It's also 30 years since Glenn suffered heartbreak with his Falcon failing him while leading the race and just 9 laps from the finish. In total, Glenn finished on the podium here 4 times, but never on the top step. Continuing the legacy, third-generation driver Aaron Seaton today makes his second start in the great race. This is the 20th year drivers have competed for the Peter Brock Trophy, and with it, a place in Australian sporting history. Who will today be crowned King of the Mountain?
Well, we could not have got a better setup than what we have today. It is absolutely glorious at the mountain. One of its finest days. The drivers are on the start line, ready for official proceedings. And the crowd here is absolutely enormous on both sides. This is a coliseum of motorsport today. Big numbers. Great to see out enjoying what is the 2025 Ripco Bathurst 1000. A spectacular event, a jewel in the Australian sporting crowd. And we cannot things underway in a very short time now. The nerves are phenomenal. The moment for the drivers is here. You can just see the anxiety and the excitement as they get set to go out there. Not far away now until we get things started. Cars on the grid. The weather forecast for this afternoon presents a challenge. At 2 o'clock this afternoon, there is an 85% chance of about 3 or 4 hours of rain, and that could change everything that we've learned so far about this circuit this weekend. It is going to make things very, very interesting, and we cannot wait to see what unfolds this afternoon. Teams are ready, drivers are ready, everyone in the stands is ready. We are closing in now on National Anthem and a spectacular start to our celebrations and our official ceremony here at Mount Panorama. The symphony is on our way and standing by, ladies and gentlemen, to get things started. In fact, right now, let's start it up.
Sorry. Weird time to start it. I'm gonna switch over for a second. Hang on, give me a second. God, what's going on? Oh, look at that, amazing. What is this, bro?
Cars Symphony Band, Bryden Stace on vocals, and what was a perfect tonic to get us in the mood for the great race today. We enjoyed an incredible evening with them just a month ago to launch this incredible weekend and the great race, the Repco Bathurst 1000. It is time now for the national anthem. Singing it today is Axel Duffy, star of Future the Musical, now playing at the Sydney Lyric.
I think it's a disgrace that they play this song. I'm hungry. I just want to eat. So what? It's really point.
Tremendous atmosphere on the grid pre-race for the Repco Bathurst 1000 2025 edition. Drivers will have plenty of nerves at this point in time as Cam Waters and Brodie Kostecki congratulate each other and wishing each other well. Starting from the primary position, this time last year you and Todd got the job done. You got it done at the bend. What's your wet weather game like?
Not really too sure. To be clear, that's when I woke up this morning. There was not a cloud in the sky, but we can see where the weather's coming from. So it's going to make an interesting Sunday here at the mountain. But looks like the co-drivers will do the dry running, and we'll get in for the party out of the rain.
Good hard stuff. Enjoy your afternoon. Thank you very much for the conversation, Brodie Kostecki. He put together 3 pole positions in a row. Chaz Mostert here as well. Walkinshaw and Gritty United driving with Fabian Coulthard today. Great lap in quali in the shootout. Not quite at the sharp end, but very, very close.
I'll take that. It hasn't been very good for me this year in top 10s. I've definitely wheeled it backwards instead of forwards. So I'll take third from today. Cars are obviously in a pretty good window, but we'll just have to see how the race unfolds. A lot on the horizon here today, so what a good day to be at Bathurst.
Nice job to overcome adversity on Thursday when you found the wall down there at turn 2. The car's obviously spot on.
I was just making it a bit more slippery in a straight line. Obviously, we need that this weekend, so I was just doing my little bit in practice 1.
All right, thanks, Chaz. Have fun this afternoon. Todd Hazelwood, big moment for you. How's your form? Every time you sit in one of these things, you win a race. Can you do it today?
That's the plan. That's what we're here for. So it'd be really special to win here on the mountain with the Ford logo on the front. And obviously here for the whole team at Shell V-Power Racing. We've done a phenomenal job in all that preparation and lead up. Brodie created history, as we all saw yesterday. So we just want to let the good times keep rolling. But certainly under no illusions of how big of a challenge we've got ahead of us today.
This fella's been keeping his hand in by doing Trans Am very successfully, and being current is very important to be able to step in and take the responsibility to start where you do and race hard, because I think it's going to be a challenging day.
Yeah, 100%. These are high pressure moments, and you can't rehearse that unless you're getting behind the wheel week in, week out. It's really interesting. Some of these other co-drivers don't race hardly at all season. So for me, keeping myself race fit, I think that really showed at the bend. We were able to put on a really strong performance there, and hopefully we'll keep the good times rolling. As I said, see what happens. Cheers.
Thanks for the rolling call. Have fun. We're looking forward to it. It's going to be very cool. All going on down here at Tickford Racing as well, because we've got a couple of Mustangs and we've got Haslet Mustangs on the front row here. Everybody lined up at Tickford celebrating a very big moment. They have done a magnificent job to get their cars in the game here. I'm going to have a quick word to Cam once all the picks are out of the way. Nice work in quali, big lap, well done.
Thanks, mate. Yeah, that was good. I'm happy with that. And start on the front row. We're up the front, so hopefully Mark get a good start here and get some clean air.
Twice a runner-up. You'd like to win this thing. The bloke that you partnered with, he's done that. He knows the feeling. This is a great opportunity.
100%. We've got a fast car. Mark's awesome, obviously. He's really good. And Yeah, I'm driving pretty well at the moment, so it's just all about making no mistakes today. Hopefully, the car's working at all different conditions today. Obviously, there's a bit of rain around, and we'll see what we can do.
All the very, very best. He made his debut here at Bathurst back in 2011, the Shannon Showdown. All those years ago, what a great story in his career as he's made his way to the top of the game. I tell you what has also happened, that wind has now officially picked up from the west. What's the clock saying? A little after 11:30 Eastern Summer Time. Jada, nice to see you, my man. You've got some responsibility here. He runs around in the AMG GT3 program. He's been to China since we last saw him at the Bend, and you're on the second row of the grid in a fast car with Ryan. Well done.
Yeah, really looking forward to getting stuck into this race. Obviously, it's a long one, so just be interesting to see how many cool calm heads we have at the start of the race. Hopefully we can get off the line well and get ourselves into the fight.
You got into a bit of a tangle in the early phase of last year's race. You've got to make sure that none of that happens in these opening couple of stints.
Yeah, 100%. Obviously, everyone's trying to get some track position. Clear air is king here, so hopefully get a good launch off the line and settle into the stint from there.
Satisfied with the behaviour of the car and its race trim?
Yeah, it seems like each time we take it out on track, it gets a little bit better, and we rolled out with a strong car. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to what's in store for the race. Obviously, the weather's the biggest question mark in the back half, so we'll look forward to that.
Well, the good news is you get to have a run in, it's dry, and then it's not your problem later in the day, potentially. Jada, look forward to seeing you do your stuff. He is partnered with this bloke here from New Zealand. Lots of New Zealand fans watching this on the other side of the pond. He's been a race winner and a pole sitter in Western Australia earlier this year. Richard Harris, this bloke here is his engineer, and these guys are going to be one to watch, one of the very fast young combinations. On that topic, gee, we sang the praises of this fellow in South Australia. I haven't had a chance to talk to him. I've just thrown all my paperwork away. I'll just grab all that stuff because I might need it in the comment box later. That was an awesome job for you at the Bend. Congratulations. You were very impressive, Joe Stewart.
Yeah, thanks. It was good to just get the first one out of the way. Cooper kind of showed me the ropes, and now we can build toward this one with heaps of confidence.
Yeah, we're looking forward to seeing what you can do from Mount Gambier. Lots of people in South Australia are going to be cheering.
Yeah, 100%. Obviously, Jimmy builds the cars for Erebus, and there's lots of young guys coming up from Mount Gambier lately. So, yeah, it's good to have that region around me.
Fingers crossed we're going to see in one of these things in the future.
Yeah, that's the goal. Yeah, we'll see about it.
All right, thank you, mate. Have a good run today. All the very, very best. Cooper Murray, we sang your praises in the top 10 shootout. That was a fine performance, and we almost saw you crack a 3 earlier in the week, and that would have been mega.
That would have been cool. Would have been the only 3 for the weekend, but no, it didn't happen. We're here now, starting off 6, just pumped, ready to go.
I'm really looking forward to seeing what you can do. Chico's back on the car. This team know what it takes to succeed at this location. Yeah. Thoughts? What do you reckon?
Just go there and have fun, to be honest. Go out there, do our best, and we'll see where we are at the end of 1,000 Ks.
Have a great day. Cooper Murray, one to watch, car number 99 today. Erebus Motorsport. Betty's here, Barry's here. They're looking after proceedings to make sure everything is A-OK. Wander over to the Red Bull Ampol Racing team and see who we can lurk and find here at the moment. Jamie Whincup, here's a bloke who's won it on 4 occasions. Unbelievable. 7-time champion, back in the saddle. You had a little moment down the other end here at turn 1 earlier in the weekend. Hopefully all that nonsense is behind.
Yeah, don't remind me of that right now. No, I think we've got a pretty good car. It's nice in the warm-up. Yeah, look, it's going to be a long day, as it always is, but we've got all the tools in the toolbox just for to do a good job there.
Weather's going to be a bit dodgy one way or the other, we think. Are you guys ready for that?
Yeah, well, it'll come at some stage. I'm trying to get as many co-driver laps done before the rain comes as possible, but
the thing about being the CEO, not my problem anymore, it's all your problem.
Run the drive. Yeah.
Our championship leader is Brock Feedy. Done an extraordinary job in this championship season with all those pole positions and all those victories. You're in good shape, but this is a big one. This is the one you want. We saw that beautiful tape piece earlier on, and it hurts when you don't get a result here. There's a big chance today.
Yeah, this is one that matters, mate. Won 12 races this year, but this one will stand above the rest. So, as Jamie said, we had a good morning warm-up. Felt like we've had a good week so far. Car's been good. It's been straight. Just looking forward to getting after it today, man. Look around behind us now, all the people around this track, the history, everything. This is the moments you dream of, and looking forward to having another crack today.
What would it mean to you to win this?
I mean everything, mate. So we're giving it our all, like we always do, and hopefully we come out on top.
All right. Look forward to seeing what you can produce for us this afternoon. Very quickly, looking further afield, just to identify who's doing what. We've got Thomas Randall out of the car at the moment, therefore James Moffat is in car number 55 in the Castrol car. Very quick comment. Nice job. You got into the top 10 shootout. We're nearly out of time, less than 30 seconds. Quick response.
Thank you. Hopefully Moff has a good run. Thanks to everyone that's here. What an amazing event Bathurst is, the 1,000. Can't wait to get into it, Neil.
All right. Have fun today. So the scene is set. It is actually now starting to get just a little cloudier. The wind has picked up from the west. To be able to put together victory at this location, it means absolutely everything. Remember, 13 of the last 19 races here, been won by a second or less, Mark Markham. This place is epic.
How cool is this, Neil? But let's just stop and take stock for a minute. Rewind to Friday. We just had the closest qualifying in the history of this event. There was 0.2 of a second that covered top 10 cars. That's incredible. That's over 6.2 kilometres. We've assembled what I would say is the most elite field of drivers that we've ever seen at this event. And I'd add to that, I can't recall a time where there's been so many great young rookies and aspirants, genuine career aspirants, in this race. Who's going to win? I don't know. But what I do know is this. This is no longer an endurance race. It's not a reliability test. It's nothing like that. This is a 1,000-kilometre sprint. But there's a wild card because it's highly likely this is going to be a classic because over there, Mother Nature's coming to the mountain.
Really? They have intros now. All you guys they have to get through.
Event 10 of the Repco Supercars Championship. And where are we? It's big. It's Bathurst. It is race day. And the 3-hour journey to the west from Sydney brings you to the historic city of Bathurst. And on the southern edge of town, a grand location with a split personality. Mount Panorama, a gentle scenic drive for much of the year, and a world-renowned motor racing site each October for the greatest of motor races. Today, it is the 65th running of the Enduro Classic and race number 27 in the 34-race series this season. This is the most famous racetrack on the Australasian Tour, 6.213 kilometres around this amazing facility. And on behalf of Pete's Hut, let's have a look at the layout. It's 23 turns. It's got massive elevation change, 174 metres from the pit straight to the top of the hill. And that fast section across the top is the driver's favourite of the season, characterised by that big fast run down into the chase at almost 300 kilometres an hour. And thanks to Titanium Caravans, let's have a look at where your favourite drivers will line up. 27 entries, 54 drivers, and out of position number 27, we've got Ryland Gray and Lockie Dalton in the World Gym entry for Tickford. And out of positions 26 and 25, Crick and Seaton Racing is in their blood. For Brad Jones Racing, Brycey Forward and Brad Vaughan. From 24 and 23, we've got Jackson Evans and Jack Smith is back in the field. Richie Starway, a former winner with a brand new rookie, Nash Morris. Then we've got James Courtney, Jack Perkins. They've had success here. From 21, it's Kai Allen and Dale Wood, the veteran. Aaron Cameron and Zach Best out of position number 20. Andre Heimgartner, and we've got Declan Fraser for Brad Jones Racing next. A 5-time champion, and it's Garth Panda together with Matty Payne. Jack LeBrock is with another rookie in Jared Hughes. Craig Lowndes has won this thing 7 times. He's with a rookie, Zach Bates, and alongside we've got David Reynolds, a former winner, with another winner in Lee Holdsworth. 14 and 13, we've got Davison and Alberto, then James Golding together with veteran David Russell, who's been on the podium here. Then we've got Will Brown, our reigning champion, with Scotty Pye, he's been on the podium here. Then Jones and Boys at the map with another winner in Lee Holdsworth. 14 and 13, we've got Davison and Alberto, then Percat has announced Jones will start. He's a rookie. Cam Hill and Cam McLeod, twin Cams, are in the Superclass entry, and then it's Randall and Moffat. Murray and Stewart will be in that Chico car. That was an outstanding job in quality. Feeney's been the outstanding performer this this year. He's our championship leader. He's with Whincup. Then we've got Wood and No Jada. In fact, it's an all WAU lockout with Mostert and Coulthard alongside. On the front row of the grid, it is Cam Waters and Mark Winterbottom together with our pole sitters, Kostecki and Hazelwood, after a magic lap yesterday from Broke.
Yeah.
And what atmosphere we're dealing with right now, because this is the start of the great race. There are 4 Mustangs at the start of this grid in the first 2 rows. The first time since 1990 that Ford has dominated qualifying with the first 2 rows covered by Mustangs. And that man there, Mark Winterbottom, gets the job with Cam Waters today. In behind him, a very esteemed colleague in Jamie Whincup. We've seen Mark Winterbottom and Jamie Whincup battle at this race before, Neil Crompton, and this is going to be one of the classics. So much looking forward to this, based on the intensity in practice and the intensity in qualifying, the ridiculous pressure in the top 10 shootout, and we're going to see it play out now for 161 laps, 1,000 kilometres, and a bit of an update as to who is where. So as it was at the bend in South Australia last time out, Cooper Murray, a primary driver, is going to start in that 99. We saw it getting ready down there on the grid when I was down there. And further afield, we've got James Courtney down in position number 22, and he is going to be a factor out there as a primary driver. There's been so much to talk about this weekend, and sadly, and I had a word to Chaz about this on the grid, I'm over to turn 2, practice 1 Thursday, thumped it into the wall. That car was able to be resurrected, in fact, so much so that he was able to get it into the top 10 shootout. It was a wild lap for our championship leader, Brock Feeny, when it mattered in the top 10 shootout. That thing went hopping and skipping over the top of the mountain, didn't actually convert to the pole. Remember, he's threatening Scott McLaughlin's record from yesteryear for more boost mobile poles than any other, and this was to celebrate. Brody had that thing absolutely dancing over the top of the mountain, and Buddy hopped off Skyline, all 4 wheels off the deck. He's the man, 3 in a row, got the pole position. Todd will start the race. And wasn't it a lap to behold? One of the best laps we've ever seen around here, and to have 3 pole positions in a row puts him in Moffat and Brock territory. That's Garth Tander in car 100. They're celebrating 100 years of Penrite. He's starting further down the road there. There's Davey Reynolds in his little steak diet before the start. This is Harry Jones starting with Anton Di Pasquale. He had a shunt earlier on in the weekend in the exclusive practice that ended up with a car in the fence coming out of the chase. They've done a great job to repair it. And I'm also hearing it's not just James Courtney and Cooper Murray. Jack LeBrock also looks like starting. So 3 of the main drivers at the start of the race. And how's this one? Aaron Noonan just gave me this. Over the last 10 years, 8 out of 10 times, the pole sitter leads on the opening lap. However, only 3 of those 10 years have they gone on to win it from there. So this start is going to be on. Don't confuse it with that. I don't want too much side of that. We need some random. Looking forward to seeing how this is going to play out. Jack LeBrock in the time, Harry Ferreira. There are 2 Jervis entries out there. That'll be car number 9. Jared Hughes is the partner. We have got the Dunlop soft tyre on here this weekend. It's a new tyre in its specification for 2025. It's behaved very well, and I think there's a fair chance that it will threaten the Gen 3 lap record held by Will Brown, 2 minutes 7.5, but that was done in 2023. And things have moved on since then. We've got better with the cars, the tyres are behaving better. Here's Jade No Jada. So there's a mix of Greek and Argentinian background in his parents, and he's something of an international young driver as well. He travels the world, drives the Mercedes-AMG GT3 program. He's looking for a full-time ride in supercar competition, a big moment for him in his career as teams. Matty Roberts gathering his troops at Tickford. Procedure, calm, communication, trying to reinforce the importance of teamwork and precision. And the essence of this race is the ultimate of thinking on your feet. You have to minimise mistakes today. There will be mistakes, but you have to rebound from them. So, brake rating here is medium. Big challenge for the brakes is at the very bottom of the hill. Bump rating's pretty low. Tyre wear here is low. It's been impressive so far. The average time turning around this racetrack is 3.2 seconds. And how's that number on the run for the 8 peaks of turn 1? It's not very far. And we truthfully don't really know what the crossover number is between the Dunlop soft tyre and the Dunlop wet tyre. understanding on Thursday afternoon, but we don't have a thorough picture of that, neither does anybody else. So let's see. This is the engineer that failed car 38 pole, George Roberts.
2, third one, keep ripping, come on, 1, stop.
I used to always concentrate on getting there too early because you don't want to be part of it for too long.
Okay, you're about 3 grid roads away, 2 grid roads, you're 1, halfway, 2 metres, keep coming, 3 metres, keep coming.
Andrew Edwards just guiding the Red Empire Racing entry into position. Wind has well and truly picked up from the west. You can see those flags in the background on pit straight. We'll stand by for an all clear at the rear of this field. 27 entries.
25 rolling in.
54 drivers. Hazelwood will be off the pole alongside Winnerbottom, then Corvado Jada, who will save the ultimate line-changing victory. Lions go racing at Mount Panorama, and what a start here for Hazelwood. Hazelwood started behind in turn 1, quickly dropping into second position was Winnerbottom, and that was a classic start from the pole man. Up into third place, this is not resolved at the moment, the teammates are side by side, so Coulthard battling Ojeda, and right behind them, Cooper Murray wants to spoil that party, he certainly does. Cooper Murray's very aggressive in behind Jaden Ojeda. What a great start there by Todd Hazelwood. There was also a car that was parked on the grid, Neil. I reckon there was a stalled car on the grid further down the road. There you go. Heartbreak there for car going down. Bryce Forward and Brad Bourne sharing that car. That was so close. Pressure's on at the front. Hazelwood leads Winterbottom. Ojeda, Coulthard, Murray, Cooper, McLeod, Moffat, Slade. Harry Jones here in the top 10. Cold tyres, cold brakes, cold lines. Big pressure though over the top of the hill for the very first time. The first of 161 grueling laps of Mount Panorama. And Todd's just opened up a tiny little bit of a cushion over the top from Winterbottom, from Ojeda, who's now cleared that position. But Murray did get up to 4th, and that's dropped Coulthard back into 5th. No point having an argument to the death on the opening lap. Certainly not. Very easy to put yourself out with a little bit of contact with another car, a puncture a tyre, or have a guard rub on the tyre as a consequence. So as they come out of Forest Silver, now look for Cooper Murray to put pressure on Ojeda down there in the braking area. Fabian Coulthard's just in behind him. And Todd Hazelwood's been able to gap Mark Winterbottom across the top of the hill. Gives himself just a little bit of a breather. Half a second is the gap. How brave to tackle the chase on that one. The diving here. Remember the moment with the deflating tyre for Fabian Coulthard back in 2010. And there's some passing moves going on down here as well at the moment. Car number 96 looking down the inside here. Jordan Boys wanting to make an argument on it. Remember, they just missed out on getting into the top 10 shootout. And he has cleared a position. He's got by Harry Jones into the final quarter. Nice work for the youngster from Albury. That was a nice pass. Up and over the curve there. That's what Rock on the inside of Delberto as they attack turn 1. So pretty vigorous there in the middle of the field. Gus Dan has made some spots. He's been able to get by there on the inside of Craig Lowndes. So Gus come from 18th, now up to 14th, gained 4 positions. So Fabian's lost a couple of spots. Harry Jones has lost a couple of spots. Delberto's lost 3 spots. The Tanner's paid 4. He's vastly experienced as a 5-time winner here. He's dealt with every conceivable condition at Mount Panorama, and he whispered in me pre-start this thing's a much better race car. Keep an eye on it. Great job by the recovery guys to get that car 14 out of the way before they all got back. That would have been a safety car if they didn't do that. Well done.
And just heartbreak for Brad Jones Racing, Brad Bourne and Bryce Forward. They had, they believe it's a drive shaft issue for that car. I'm also hearing that could potentially be damage to James Courtney and possibly Eric's car.
There may have been a little bit of trauma in the back of the pack. James is sitting down there in position number 21. What a disaster for the automated superstore entry car, the 14, one of the 4 cars from Brad Jones Racing was shown. So we'll try and get a better understanding of what's gone on there. And all the effort, all the energy, all the investment, all the preparedness that goes into the whole process of getting here and for it to all come undone at the very beginning.
Intentional team circuit for race 27 has been declared wet. We repeat, the circuit has been declared wet for race 27.
Courtney down the inside here, looking to make a move on wood, and he's done it successfully. Jack Taylor is the Motorsport Australia race director, the voice you heard on the Race Management channel in the background. Now, the reason they do that. It's not wet at the moment, but they're permitting anybody to choose a wet tyre should they decide to do that, Jack.
Not only has it been reported as wet, but it's also been reported as oily. The race leader reporting oil at turn 1, maybe from the 14.
Yeah, and that's in the garage at the moment. You can see it there on the Go Jacks as they try to figure out what can be done to resurrect that vehicle. Hazelwood, Winterbottom, Ojeda, Murray, Mustangs 1, 2, 3, then Murray's the first of the Camaros from Coulthard, from Whitcote to Cloud, whose grandfather won here back in 1987. James Moffat, his dad's won it 4 times. Timmy Slade did an awesome job in South Australia with his teammate Nick Burkout. Jordan Boy's inside that top 10, who's actually got the fastest lap out there at the moment, 2 minute 8.3. The Pizza Hut car is quick. Yes, he's done a very good job in the opening stanza, no doubt about that. And when you're calling out some names there, how about some famous names? Moffat, Perkins, Seaton, Morris, Crick, McLeod. Many of the co-drivers have come from esteemed lineage at this racing venue. Now, what's brewing here at the moment is serious pressure. 2nd, 3rd, 4th. Winterbottom's under attack from Ojeda, who's equally under attack from Murray. And Fabian's all but putting his signature on the rear bumper as they negotiate the cutting. This is where the big climb begins. It's a 1 in 6 gradient, and the cars really require a lot of torque in 2nd gear to grunt their way out of the cutting. They plug 3rd gear on the run up there. They've got that car 14 mobile again, and then it's also the top field for 200 Ks. And Todd's positioning the car as though we're in a qualifying mode. He's got it whistling right up against the concrete wall at the moment. Frosty's only 0.5 of a second behind, but it's an angry, aggressive, fast, and impatient queue sitting behind him. And the cars feel terrible early in this race like this. They've got 4 loads of fuel, the grip level's low, it's quite sunny, there's a lot of wind that's just come up, and the cars feel lethargic, they feel hard to drive, and you've got to just get yourself into a rhythm. A lot of these co-drivers are not familiar with starting these cars, and around here, very easy to make an early mistake, because the rhythm at this point is so different to practice when the cars will light up. Right now, they start with just over 90 kilos of BP fuel. That makes an enormous difference. Here's a move, he's got him. Cooper Murray down the inside. Nice job on Jaden O'Jada. That brings him up into 3rd position. He had to stand it on its nose under brakes. And in fact, Jaden could get grabbed here by Fabian on the run down the bottom. Now, these are team cars that are at the back of that image that you can see at the moment from Waukesha Andrew United, the respective engineers. Sam Scafidi for car 25, Richard Harris for car 2. They'll be like, be cool, boys, be cool. Because they can see the same thing we can. It's 158 laps to go. Yeah, you certainly don't want those 2 team cars to be battling so heavily. And what they'll have to do is just work it out pretty quickly. If Jaden's not fast enough, let Fabian by. Because one of the real dramas that we're dealing with, if the safety car's deployed at any point, they will have to double stack, and that will be horrific. Very close in performance in the top 10 shootout, these guys. And is that a positional move that we saw there? He thought about it, Fabian, poked the nose for a moment. That gives you a great understanding of the gunner that I speak of on the inside of turn 2, where that right front wheel is parked in there to secure the car on line. Marcus Ambrose spoke this morning about the risks of being high and wide there. As Coulthard threatens up on the outside, that's no man's land there because you'll slide up into the fence. And he thought better of it, but it's made him vulnerable to Whincup, who's ready to pounce if the opportunity presents. The Whincup story at Bathurst is quite extraordinary. He has been a winner here, but he's also experienced unbelievable trauma. There was the safety car drama. There was the fuel drama. There was the big drama with 3 of them, McLaughlin, Tander, and he down the bottom in 2016. So there's been a tale of ups and downs for Jamie, but he'll be acutely aware of the need to be nice and clean out there at the moment. Yep. And the spot to look for Whincup to put a move, and this spot right here is a classic. So he needs to come off the dipper and then line himself up with a little change of direction at Forest Elbow and fire down the inside. It's a slow corner entry and it's a reasonably low risk when you get down the inside there. Now they've brought 14 back in, but I just heard Todd Hazelwood say on my speaking radio that there's more oil on the track, particularly down the bottom. So whatever's going on with that at the moment requires further work to resolve the issue. Hazelwood from Winterbottom, the margin's officially still 0.5 on the clock. Murray's moved it up into 3rd with a nice move early on, followed by Ojeda, Coulthard, Whincup, McLeod, Moffat, Slade, Boys.
The issue with car 14 is they cannot get 2nd and 4th gear. They thought they could press on, but it is leaking oil everywhere, so they brought it into the garage.
It's the reason why Todd Hazelwood made the comment that he did in the background just a few moments ago. Looking at those that have made ground still, it's Carl Tander who's made the most amount in the first half of the field. 8 4 spots. Century Baptist Chopper Cam and the replay of the start. Live pictures in the bottom right-hand corner shows you how strong firing and getting the whole shot was for Hazelwood. In fact, the two lead guys, they bowled it. They had no pressure at all. However, the cluster of cars in positions 3 and beyond, it was on. It certainly was. And have a look at the pack as they go over the rise at the end of Mountain Straight there. The 3 cars in really close proximity. And as you can see, they finally got away with that. It was always difficult to stick the car stop there on that opening lap, cold tyres and full fuel. So Fabian found himself on the outside in the braking approach to turn 3, and there was no coming back from that. And he was under assault by the time he got down here at turn 1. It's a pretty clean start, all things considered. Oh, that was a nice conversion. They've got the tallest period. First seconds, 119 kilometres an hour. They break all the Aussie speed limits, just changing 1 gear off the line. It's unbelievable, isn't it? In first gear, it would be illegal in all of our states and territories. So here we go. This is going to be Wing Cup. So he had nowhere to go. So he's parked between the two mature Mustangs. And then what he does, he just parks it back to the inside. Around the outside there was Cooper Murray, and he's trying his hardest to get the slingshot. And he does it. So he ended up pump drafting into the back of Jaden Ojeda. Smart move by Wing Cup there, who moves it to the inside so he's not vulnerable for turn 2. This was the little move that we were gasping at because there was contact with the cars right there. So straight away, Lee Holdsworth has run into the back of Tony D'Alberto at the cutting.
And they're still together out there at the moment, 16 to 17, and this is the move. Clark and Courtney, I beg your pardon, down the inside program for co-drivers and makes a nice move there.
Let him take forward.
To get it up into third position in the early stage of the race. It just takes a little bit of that pressure away from sitting under somebody's rear bumper. Now, the other thing about the replay of the Wing Cup start, he really had to coax and punch several times that clutch to invite the car off the line. Oh, that's ugly. Awkward. Boys was into the back of Slade. Harry Jones is trying to drive it across the front of them. And in the back of that, Scott Myers going, you guys are mad. It's got 156 laps to go and you're running into each other. And Jordan actually had to go on the grass then. So he's got Slade up the inside. This has got spare parts scattered all over the road, written all over it if they don't manage it carefully. It's a cluster of supercars on the run to turn 1. They're up and grinding. Pye was actually getting roughed up in that process. We're riding with Garth on the run towards turn 3. And cool heads need to prevail here or they'll scatter one of these things or more. Into the cutting. How's the cluster of cars? They are jammed on each other. They're on the tow road. So this is White Boys, then Slade, Jones, Russell, Pye, Tander, Louds is at the back of all this as well. And LeBron. They're playing for keeps. We've got 156 laps to go. They were running into each other on the way into turn 1. They ended up running into each other on the way into 2. And they were still bumping and barging on the way up to the cutting. It's mad. We say it every year. The red mist descends in the first 5 laps. So look at this. It all started down here at pit straight. So there's contact, I think, between Pye and Boys. That unsettled him. And then once someone gets out of phase and it changes their corner exit speed at 1, they all clustered up at turn 2. Tander's trying to sneak up the inside here. He's made very light contact with Pye. Garth said that he didn't feel he was aggressive enough at the bend, and he's just lost that spot to Lee Holdsworth through the left-hander at turn 3. And he knows the value of trying to clear other competitors there. Dropping a spot will frustrate him. So, Cooper Murray rallying and loses a spot in the process on the replay. So that drops him back into 4th position. Here's the view, chucking rocks. Sometimes that can end poorly down there at McPhillamy. So that was costly, and there'll be some debris on those tyres to manage here as well. So he's a little bit vulnerable now to Coulthard. Newcastle slap the race belonging here to Hazelwood. Stephen Grove, Penrite Racing, watching what's going on. He's looking at Tander in 15th position here at the moment. And their other car with Dale Wood at the helm is in 26th position. James took position again up here at turn 2. And that's Murray displacing Ojeda. And how that just happened is that when Jade was able to get by Cooper after he just bumped the fence there, I think he bumped the fence on the way to the cutting just there, Cooper Murray. I think he did. I think the right-hand rear just bumped the fence on the way. He definitely hit the fence on the way to the corner. Like, stop it. Now, when you get to the point, when you get to
He went off by himself at McPhillippi Park. Jada was able to round him up. Then Jada made the mistake at turn 1. He missed the apex by himself, and Cooper Murray was able to round him up. Now watch this. He's running up the hill. The right-hand fence is there, and bang, he hits the fence on the way to the corner. Stop it. That's upset Headmaster Mark. You're okay. Just don't do that. They're pressing on hard. You can tell by the way that thing skated over the top of the rise on the braking approach to Forest Elbow that he's bringing his neck. So he's back in third place. He's had a little tour of the road. But you see that country group with a lovely actually little kiss on approach 2 and 3. And I'll be on the radio soon, Wayne Mackey. Just making sure that things are calm out there. Kirby just said I can settle into a rhythm now. Yeah, that'd be a big goal. The big time gap at the front of the moment is 0.8 seconds. Just a tiny little less pressure between Hazelwood and Winterbottom as this battle here continues. Comes Garth. He's looking high and low. Oh, he's trying to thread the needle down here. And that's awkward. He will be hating this first stint with all that traffic everywhere. Lowndes is trying to hunt down the inside here as well. 12 victories between these guys, and they're duking it out at turn 1. There's contact in a straight line between Tander and Lowndes.
I don't know why it's doing that.
Turn 1, who's been supreme in the push this weekend. Okay, Headmaster, let you go.
Just to see what was going on.
They're two of the best drivers in the land. They've made contact on the pit straight.
Whoa!
Across the other side. Craig's still there. Actually, that was very lucky for Garth, because if Craig stays there, he writes him off. If he stays there, he buys him in so hard. So that was a very gentlemanly bit of driving by Craig Lowndes then, because that could have ended Tander's day. A couple of highly experienced hardheads not giving an ounce. So 30-second start for Lowndes, 27th start for Tander. And at that point, they were quite willing to take it to the limit. Awesome stuff. Meantime, Harry Jones has got faster in second one than anybody else on this lap. He might threaten that fastest lap that's currently being held by Todd Hazelwood, who's still enjoying 3/4 of a second at the moment in his margin over Mark Winterbottom as we join James at the top of the hill. Courtney McPhillippi. You can see the skyline above there at the moment from the viewpoint at Skyline, looking east of that mountain ridge that separates the Blue Mountains and the central tablelands. And it is becoming more overcast. That wind is pretty solid out there from the west at the moment. And we've seen some vigorous battles. James down the inside. He's got the plummet going and gets it done. That's a nice job. So late. Oh, I wasn't sure there because the problem is if you lock it all up and you make friends with the passenger door of the other car, it ends poorly. I love your pause. I love it. I So there's plenty of serious racing going on early, and they are willing to get on with it and try and gain positions here and not just settle. So that manoeuvre that we witnessed with Courtney in the background getting it done, moving up in position 20, remember we had a report that there may be a bruise on that car. It appears to be okay at the moment. Declan Fraser was the recipient of the passing move, gone back into 21st position. Zach Best is in behind them. Our margin at the front is still 3/4 of a second, 1:53 to go. Personal best for the last lap there. He's done a 7.9. Personal best for Frosty's done an 8.1. Personal best for Whitcomb an 8.4. So as the cloud cover's coming over and the fuel's bleeding off at 3.5 kilos a lap, they're starting to find a little bit of grip and some rhythm and try and figure out how to keep the cars around the mountain as well. Yeah, exactly. Scott Pye, fastest lap of the race on the previous lap there with a 7.93. So Scott Pye's back in 12th spot. He's actually faster than the leaders. So that does demonstrate that there's a lot of cars in contention this afternoon. And the way that the guys have gone about it, there's been some real hustle and bustle. And what I'd like to try to work out what's going on, because Jack LeBrock, as one of the lead drivers, the normal primary driver, hasn't made any ground at all. So he started 17th, he's still 17th. And I'm worried that there might have been a bit of contact early that's actually damaged that car. Plus, he's on the wrong side of the wall of supercars. Yes, so he's in behind what is effectively a train of cars there at the moment. So trying to actually clear that group would be hard yards. Yeah, no doubt. That's the Tander, Russell and Lowndes, and we saw them bumping into each other there before.
You know what? I'm going to play.
Down there before it stuck in the engineer for the car. Together with Thomas Randall, had a quick word to battling these cars to make them faster as the weekend progressed. As car 3, Zach Best makes a move here on Declan Fraser, who might have a balance problem going here because that car does not appear to be speedy. And if anything, Aaron Seaton could get him down the bottom of the hill. He's positioned himself to try and go around the outside now. He switches line. He'll be getting a little bit of the benefit of the draft. Trying to go down the inside of the chase requires serious bravery. He's thinking about it down the bottom, but Declan just moved it up a bit to the left recovery. Meantime, in behind them, Dale Wood in the Penrite entry as well was ready to pounce if an opportunity presents. So there's Garth there now. Just in behind is Dave Russell. And Craig Lowndes is putting plenty of pressure on him. The other team car for Penrite just in behind Aaron Seaton there with Wood aboard. So one of the things I looked at and I was pointing at it when they went down the straight there, there's a lot of damage on the back of Declan Fraser's car that's been caved in.
No. Oh, why is it doing this?
Got no pressure now going into the braking area on the run up here and the left-hander at the cutting. So he's got that done nice and clean and brings it up into the position and operating at around about 4 seconds from lead. Nice place to be. Yep, you can see it the brighter end of the field. You can see the sunny skies ahead, metaphorically. So you want to look
over. Give me 1 second, guys. Okay. No, it's not working. It's growing. It's growing.
Jackie Lee Cup getting down the inside. Maybe put into turn 2. Just a classic maneuver. Come off turn 1 really nicely. Got a little run up the hill. Was able to put the car on the inside. Fabian also played the game. He didn't turn across in front of him. A couple of experienced operators not getting caught up in any drama. Newcastle's left belongs to Cooper Murray now at a 2 to 7.8. And that margin at the front has completely diminished now. It's back to 0.3 of a second, so the pressure's on between Hazelwood and Winterbottom.
No! Broadcast is just on dark shit.
That car is A-OK at the moment. There is no damage from that crazy stuff earlier. But in terms of the championship, Heimgartner is 18 points behind that.
Kidding me. Come on.
So important.
I can imagine we've only been racing for a little over 22 minutes. It feels like we're in the mid of a hardcore sprint race.
What's going on?
Sprint Cup, not the case. This is Bathurst. They have to play the long game. So that margin at the front got down to 0.3 of a second just a few moments ago. And looking at the sector splits on the previous lap, Frosty and Mark Winterbottom's been able to make some gains there.
Yeah,
This will also be set up with the car and how the individual drivers treated the tyres in those opening couple of laps. Tyre preservation has been an important part of the championship story for some time. If you look across the arc of the entire 25 championship, Brody Stick has been very good at managing tyre degradation, therefore not dropping too much lap time and keeping a nice even flow. And Potter is watching inside the garage, particularly he's in the top right-hand corner of the screen. He's the engineer for the car that we're riding with here at the moment. Mark Winterbottom about to grab 6th gear down the chute. Big crosswind left to right as we're looking on screen at the moment. And they're trying to park the right over the left-hand side to be able to ensure that crosswind doesn't affect the cars too much. Down the inside there, we come on that Jada. Well, yeah, that's a brave move down there, Mark. You got it stuck. I was a bit worried about how that was going to pan out because the cars are howling at that point and they move around relative to each other. And when you don't attack the chase on the ideal line, it effectively tightens the corner. Yeah, it is a big negotiate. So we come up in position 4. He's 4.1 seconds from the lead. There they are, exiting turn 1. So you can see them. And to your point, Winterbottom looks like he's actually got a bit of pace now over Hazelwood, doesn't he? It's only 0.3 of a second. second, and he's making it in the last sector mostly. He's a little bit slower in sector 1. He's about par over the top, but he's making it in sector 2. They're looking at a transaxle down there in the Yarra, and apparently it's got a hole in it of some description. That's not good. That'll be the source of the oil. So it's an X-track combination gearbox and differential in these cars that sits behind the driver. 6-speed gearbox in these Gen 3 supercars. Going off and see issues there. Here's the pressure at the front we spoke about, fluctuating between 0.3 0.4 of a second at the moment, and you can tell when you look at the load on the right front corner of those cars how hard
it's pushing on now, so punching the left end here, and we're just reverse window here now.
That was the voice of Barry Ryan talking about how they're playing the strategy. So they're doing what's called reverse window strategy. They're working their fuel out. The only problem with that at the moment is that if it rains, all of that math goes out the window at 100%. The North car of the 90. Jackson started the race. Only a handful of our regular drivers in the cars at the commencement.
Jack Perkins and Joe Stewart are standing by with helmets on. They've gone the alternative strategy as well, so expect a driver change at this first stop.
Thank you, Reed. So, yes, there's a bit of weirdness there. And I was concerned. Reed reported earlier about the Jackal Rock car because we saw. So I was worried there because Jack didn't make any ground. You would expect as a lead driver that he might have made 4, 5, 6 spots in the early part of this race. And I thought as a consequence that there might have been some damage, but he's in the pit lane now, so everything seems to be all right. Chris?
Yeah, just got Matty Payne here alongside me. He's got the helmet on ready to go. Matt, that was pretty wild stuff out there from Graf. The old dog's still got plenty of tricks in it.
Yeah, it was very wild to see. He kept it under control, which was good, and thankfully we made up a couple of positions on the start, so we can press on.
How long until you're in, and what's the strategy so far at this point?
I think it's going to be much the same as everyone else, but yeah, probably, I don't know, maybe.
Fair enough, thanks, mate.
Thank you. Also, guys, just hearing on the radio is the first reports of raindrops that's coming from car 99 Cooper Murray at the wheel. And just a word on this battle on screen.